Do It or Ditch It time. This is where we take a look at a park attraction, either at Walt Disney World or the Disneyland Resort, and share with you whether or not something is worth doing or ditching. I know it's a complicated concept, can be very troubling for those people that can't grasp one thing or another, but let me tell you something. We're here to help. We are here to help provide you the very thing that we are presenting in this here segment, and that is perspective. Perspective on whether or not something is worth doing or ditching. Today it is all about Mickey and Minnie's Runaway Railway at Disney's Hollywood Studios Park. This is an attraction that, my goodness, replaced a classic, that's for sure. But Mickey and Minnie's Runaway Railway is a trackless dark ride located within the Hollywood Studios theme park. A second upcoming location is scheduled for Mickey's Toontown here at Disneyland Resort and the Disneyland Park Complex. The attraction is the first ride-through attraction to at a Disney theme park to be themed to Mickey Mouse, which is kind of crazy to think about. Yeah. It took that long, but it is based on the stylized world from the character's 2013 animated television series, and the premise of the ride is where guests are invited into the theater to watch the film premiere of a brand new Mickey Mouse cartoon. That cartoon is called Perfect Picnic. According to Imagineer Kevin Rafferty, guests will then pass through a simulated movie screen and experience a zippy-zany, out-of-control adventure. The objective is for riders to feel like they are being transported into the cartoon aboard Goofy's train. In this version of Mickey and Minnie's Runaway Railway, Hollywood Studios opened in the era where we were just about to enter the pandemic, and so unfortunately a lot of people got very excited for this ride, didn't get to see it, and then since Walt Disney World has reopened, a lot more people have been able to experience it, fortunately, it was one of those things that when it opened in 2020, we had our people there to experience it and at least share some of the videos with folks during the time where most of the parks were shut down, but it is back in action and something that many people can experience now. It is something that has replaced the Great Movie Ride, which a lot of people adore, a lot of people absolutely loved, and was the icon of the park, the Grauman's Chinese Theater in Hollywood Studios. Sabina, this ride has so much magic pumped into it by way of really just digital screens, really just, your projection mapping, and is something that I know causes a lot of people to say, well, isn't it just like watching a movie? For those who haven't been on it, wasn't it just like watching a movie and riding around in a movie? Remarkably, it's a little bit more than that.
Oh, definitely. There's this misconception of it being like, is it just set pieces and then a big screen and kind of like moving from scene to scene? But it's not actually. You are fully immersed in a world that does have projection mapping as a way to kind of bring the ink and paint to life around you. And it stars Mickey Mouse, and I'm a huge fan of the new Mickey Mouse shorts. I love watching The Wonderful World of Mickey Mouse, which is like now like the actual, I guess, like 20-minute episode series of those shorts, that they're absolutely fantastic and totally eccentric and off the wall, I would say. Even the sense of humor in those shows is so wild. I definitely would say and recommend to watch it on Disney Plus. As a fan of the show, however, I did have the experience of getting on the ride, I think during one of my trips recently during the pandemic, and I totally was stuck in that line for a while because it was back when it was shutting down and then coming back up and stuff, and I missed my flight.
No.
Thanks to Mickey and Minnie's Runaway Railway. Was it worth it? Probably not.
You have a different perspective.
A slightly different perspective. Yeah. If your flight is coming, just do it next time, definitely. Sure. But it is an adorable and absolutely delightful ride to be a part of. I love the soundtrack. Nothing's gonna stop us now unless you're me.
Yeah, right. Yeah.
And then,
no one's going
although
home.
It's very on brand for the ride and for my husband and I to have missed our flight with this ride.
Great
It's
story.
very cute. It's
Yeah.
great. But don't miss your flight.
Yeah, not worth missing your flight for, probably. Absolutely. And this being one of those experiences that technologically sort of push the boundaries of
For sure.
Imagineering. You can feel it. You can definitely feel it and experience it. How long would you say it's worth waiting for? Say if you don't have a fast pass, which in the pandemic era, fast pass has not been available. But how long would you say this is worth waiting for time-wise if you don't have a fast pass?
I think maybe 2 hours max, possibly.
Wow.
I think.
All right.
I mean, if you're a huge Mickey fan, I would say, particular, 2 hours in the morning.
There you go. Yeah. Right as things kick off.
Yes, right as things kick off.
I mean, it is the icon of the park, the Chinese theater being right there down the center corridor when you walk in. It is essentially the Cinderella castle of Hollywood studios. So it does beckon a lot of people there, especially early in the morning. Everybody kind of rushes to it. But what we want to do is share with you the feedback we received from our viewers. We asked you in a poll whether or not you would make this a part of your Disney vacation. In fact, we said, is Mickey and Minnie's Runaway Railway worth your vacation time? 81% of you said it's a must-do, while only 19% said, not really. So overwhelmingly, people said, absolutely, this is a do-it for them. I take it, Sabina, that it is a do-it for you, just don't miss your flight.
Yes.
Yeah, right. So you definitely have that do-it, which is great. And now we jump out to Disney's Hollywood Studios, where Florida reporter Garrett Hassel is in front of that iconic attraction. Tell us, buddy, when it comes to doing it or ditching it, what say you?
Well, I went on this opening day, so I got to see the whole show, whether with the pre-show where the cartoon literally explodes, and for me it's a definite must. I think it's when I first went on it, I gave it a solid B, but as time has gone by, I've seen the re-rideability on it because there's 4 cars, and depending on where you are, the ride is different. You see different aspects of it completely, and I think the re-rideability is great. Fun, it's gold. The use of projection mapping, which Disney Imagineers have been trying to utilize more and more over the years, is just simply stunning. And the different scenes are great. And I can foresee that in the future, as more of these cartoons come out, they can change this up and make it be different things, because you go from the Wild West to a carnival to Dancing with Daisy to being in a steel mill, I guess. So this is an absolute must attraction. It's fun for everyone. Plus, using trackless ride technology is just, it blows me away, and getting to go inside the Chinese theater is simply just a lot of fun. Nothing against past rides that have been at this location, but I definitely think this one is gonna outshine the other ones. But yeah, it's a definite must for me. Plus, that neon at night or in the early morning just shines, and it looks so clean. It's whimsical. It's very reminiscent of, old school Hollywood. So come on out, and then you can have that song stuck in your head. And then at the end, Goofy might shock your butt.
Yeah.
It sounds weird, but it's true. He does it, and it's fun.
Nothing like a butt shock to really enjoy an attraction.
It's better than the cockroaches and bugs at It's Tough to Be a Bug.
That's true.
I think, at least.
Yeah, you don't have to have
That's
that.
just crazy. That's just
Who
weird.
invented that?
The most sinister of Imagineers invented that.
Joe Rohde?
Sure. Yeah.
Joe Rohde, maybe?
Probably.
And we need cockroaches crawling across people's rumps by
I was
the end.
half expecting that on Web Slingers to be in effect. I was like,
Good call.
cautious.
Yeah, right.
Oh, that would have been so cool.
Spiders. Yeah.
No, I think that'd be cool. I haven't gone on Web Slingers, but that sounds like something cool.
Seems like it is a missed opportunity. Yeah, that it didn't happen. But when it comes to the time limit that you would wait without a fast pass, what would you say is the perfect amount of time for waiting for an attraction like this?
I would say an hour and a half. Unfortunately, the majority of this queue is going to be outside.
Yeah.
So it can seem a little bit especially in the summertime outside, they have umbrellas, but man, that heat just beats down on you. So an hour and a half. Right now it's 45, which is the perfect amount of time, I think, for any attraction. Yeah. If you get 45 I wouldn't consider this an e-ticket, but I would. 45 is definitely doable. Hour and a half top. 2 hours, Sabina. You're way too nice.
I feel like if it's your first time getting on it, and you haven't been
not even
it.
then.
No.
That's I'm gonna wait 2 hours for mine card, and I'm like, no.
Some people say it's worth it. I mean, some people will miss their flight home just to experience it. Yeah.
I think we waited for 4 hours.
Oh my
or 3.5 or 4. But that was because the ride shut down in the middle of us being in line.
That
so
makes
we were too close to the inside.
Oh, there it is.
Yeah.
Yeah, well, good call on that. This ride is similar to Rise of the Resistance over at Galaxy's Edge. Each vehicle uses an RFID puck system, is what they call it, to move throughout the layout. The vehicles also use a charging pad in the load and unload zones to ensure that they stay charged throughout the ride. Again, a very technologically advanced attraction. Absolutely, it's a do it from me. So you got do it's all around. Overwhelmingly in our poll, everybody said do it too. This is one of those attractions that, especially dedicated to Mickey Mouse. I don't know why it took so long to have a Mickey-centered attraction, but this pays wonderful homage to Mickey himself, especially New Age Mickey with the cartoons. It's an absolutely wonderful experience if you can go on it. I would say for me, I'm about that hour and a half mark. 2 hours is pushing it, but I'm about that hour and a half mark. If you don't have a fast pass and you're willing to wait, definitely something worth experiencing. One of those that I think Garrett pointed it out, where it's something that they can continue to tweak over the course of time. And I think we're seeing
That'd be great if they did. There's so many
Could you
scenes
imagine?
in there. You know, there's an episode called Cheese Wranglers that's hilarious. I would like to see that in like the Western scene.
I love Mickey's voice where it's like,
yes.
Where he like gets like the stern chin, and then
it's like the memification of Mickey on that show is incredible.
Or the House of Tomorrow.
The House of Tomorrow. Yeah,
that is so much funny. It's like, it's a great big beautiful tomorrow shining at the end of every day, and then Donald's like, calm down, Donald. I can't calm down. Like,
and they could even change the Daisy dance room to the roller skating disco.
Oh, what a great idea.
So great.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah.
Yeah, a lot of opportunities in this attraction for years to come, which is great. Flexible attraction as more and more of the rides are becoming, which is pretty cool because just as something starts to get a little stale, they can plus it up. So definitely do it's all around from us here. Hey, are you somebody that feels like we totally missed the mark? Are we off base entirely? Let us know in the comments section whether or not this is a do it or a ditch it for you. Mickey and Minnie's Runaway Railway.
To all who come to this happy place, welcome.